J.D. Vance was at a rally in Las Vegas today, and he was asked how to cover the shortfall from Donald Trump's plan to not tax tips. And J.D. Vance said, well, it's all in the details, really. But in order to cover the difference in the amount where we would no longer be bringing in, it's simple. We'll just fire the IRS workers. The Republicans have been going after IRS workers ever since the budget, 2 years ago, when Democrats appropriated a lot more money to the IRS to fund more agents to collect missing and back taxes, etc. And ever since then, the Republicans have been trying to find a way to do away with these IRS agents, come up with stories about these IRS agents, claiming that they're armed, people. They're going to enforce tax code by going out and arresting people, all sorts of nonsense. So now the latest idea is, well, it's not tax tips, so we don't have that income coming into the federal government, but instead we will just fire the IRS agents that would normally be dealing with it. Here's the problem. Back in July, because of the additional IRS agents that have been hired and with the additional manpower, the IRS said they had already gained back $1 billion in missing money that people hadn't paid in their taxes, mostly from high-end, wealthy people who hadn't been paying their taxes in, whatever the case was, that they were behind for whatever reason, over $1 billion, with now additional resources to go after these people. They got over $1 billion. So J.D. Vance says, oh, well, it's simple. We'll just fire the IRS agents. He doesn't understand how any of this works. I guarantee if they start taking any heat or traction from this, Donald Trump's going to say, well, I never said we'd do it that way, and is going to throw J.D. Vance under the bus. They don't understand the basic functions of even government and how firing the people in charge of reclaiming money or getting the money paid to the government that is already owed helps fund the government. But, J.D. Vance doesn't care about any of that. Donald Trump doesn't care about that. And Republicans haven't cared about that because they've been trying to do away with these IRS agents for several years now at every opportunity and making up a whole bunch of stories about as to what their true purpose was, etc. So that's their big idea, to not tax tips, where Kamala Harris comes out and says, yeah, we're not going to do this, but we're going to make the wealthy pay their fair share. Her answer is to offset it with additional tax revenue from a different pool of people. So it's just a stark contrast between the two of them. But their obvious answer is to leave American people unemployed from government jobs in order to offset here. Makes no sense. And how anybody can think that J.D. Vance and Donald Trump are serious politicians when you hear things like this is beyond me.